Hello and welcome to my Tarot Corner. Before I begin, please take a few moments to read my full disclaimer in the description box. This is a tarot reading, it is vibrational, it is open to interpretation. It exists as assumptions and speculation and as such may or may not be true. So please do your own research and decide for yourselves. And I just have to make it very clear that everything that I say about a person's mood or a person's state of mind is my opinion upon observing that person in the media and what I can see in the public domain. So now that we got that out of the way, I am doing this reading as a request from a subscriber who asked me to look into Prince Harry and how is it possible that he fell into the clutches of a psychopath like Meghan Markle. What are the predisposition that caused him to be, let's say, an easy prey for Meghan. And I've been looking around, how can I check that? So first of all, in my opinion, this is really important that I would say that Harry does not look happy. He doesn't look like he is having the time of his life. Even yesterday, during that sham of a performance in Manchester, he most of the time looked pensive, he looked miserable. He did not look like a happy, proud husband. And there was this incident in which Meghan whispered in his ear, and then he started clapping and smiling, and it looked so very much as if she was telling him, you need to look a little bit more happy for me, or you need to look as if you enjoy being here and not as if you are miserable. But I suppose that most of you will agree with me that Harry looks miserable. He doesn't look like a happy person. So I've done a lot of in-depth readings about Harry, both in the Harry Understood series, and I also did a 3-part inside depth into Harry's psyche. What I'm going to look now is about the relationship, and I'm using a spread that is called Relationship Issues, and I'm modifying it a little bit to adapt it to the questions in hand. And I'm using the Mystical Moments Tarot and Mystical Moments Oracle deck. First of all, because these are decks that are very much look to me like someone who his psyche is a little bit disrupted, or first of all, they are huge decks to use for amazing decks to use for intuition. But more of when you look at these decks, it looks at the art, it looks like someone who is going through some kind of something emotional. It is very emotional decks, in my opinion. And because I have spoken about the giveaway that I want to do and I mean to do when I get to 3,000 subscribers, which is a long way still, because I'm not at 2,500 yet. So I have quite a few decks that I could give. I did speak about the hash tarot, But I'm going to let you decide, because I also have the Mystical Moments Oracle deck. I have two copies of it. So I do have another one who is completely new and never opened it. So as I say, it doesn't really matter where you live. I will be happy to send it wherever. If you can chip into the shipping, that's okay. If not, then that's also okay. My first giveaway, I sent it to a person that couldn't give anything for the shipping, and I am very happy to do that. So when the time comes, and I hope it does come, I will do a poll, and I will ask you which deck do you want me to give away. Okay, so let's start by clearing this deck. Okay, so Harry and Meghan's relationship issues. How is it that Meghan managed to catch Harry despite being a narcissistic psychopath? What are Harry's predispositions that caused him to be attracted to Meghan? What can we see around Harry's psyche that caused him to be trapped in this relationship, and current problems in their relationship? Harry and Meghan relationship issues from beginning till now. Okay, so the first card is the relationship as it is right now. And the card that I'm getting is the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so the Eight of Pentacles, when we're talking about the psychological interpretation of this card, it is about working hard even though you're not getting a lot of money. And right now their relationship is all around the work and the money that is coming in or isn't coming in. Now, we know that they signed big contracts, but they did not deliver much yet. I mean, for Spotify, they delivered 3 podcasts up until now, and I'm not sure that the Archetype podcast will last all 12 episodes. For Netflix, nothing came up yet. And a lot of ventures that Meghan started, like for example, what was it, a vegetarian coffee or lattes or something like that. A lot of things that they announced, and then we heard nothing. I mean, for example, the bank. That they were announcing that they are being part of this bank that is supposed to be a bank that considers young people, and I'm not sure exactly how they even how they described it. So right now their relationship is around working hard and not getting enough money, and money here is a very big issue. But this card is more than that, because when we're talking about relationships, this is also about them working on the relationship, or at least Harry is working on the relationship, but there is not a lot of getting back. So both of them maybe feel that they are putting into that relationship a lot. Even Meghan might feel that way, but not receiving what they expected. This is a card of someone who is like the apprentice. And as you can see here, this is we see a child that is painting on this butterfly, and butterflies that are flying around. And why am I talking about the butterflies? Because the butterfly is a symbol of a creature that is going through a lot of changes through its lifetime, from the caterpillar to all the way to the butterfly, and has a very short span of life. And I think that this also represents the nature of their relationship. So, sorry. So this is the first card of their current relationship. Now, the next card is, how did Harry find himself trapped in this relationship? And what I'm getting here is the King of Swords. The King of Swords is a card of someone who is thinking about getting an equilibrium, but it is also a family man, someone who is the Libra man, someone who is the appeaser, someone who is very much concerned about family. And I think that what happened with Harry is that he was so, let's say, desperate to start a family. He wasn't even thinking clearly when he started dating Meghan. As soon as he realized that she is willing, and this is something that Tom Bauer speaks about in his book quite a lot, that the minute that he understood that Meghan is willing to do that, to be a royal, a working royal, and this is after his experience with Chelsea, that didn't want to become royal, and Cressida Bonus that didn't want to become royal. I mean, if he was thinking about living the royal family beforehand, then he would have done that for Chelsea or for Cressida. I mean, he had such a good relationship with Chelsea, for example. So he wasn't willing to do that. And the one thing that really sparked him around Meghan was that she gave him the impression that she is willing to become a working royal. She's willing to take upon herself everything that is connected to become a royal. And this King of Swords is a woman. So I believe that what got him trapped into Meghan's web is the need for some kind of stability, the need for equilibrium in his life, and the need to start a family. He really wanted to start a family. He was very much envious with his brother, seeing his brother and Catherine so good together. He really wanted something like that to himself. So this is how he and he deluded himself that Meghan is like Diana, and he couldn't understand how is it that his family doesn't, or his uncle and aunts from Diana's side don't see the similarities between Diana and Meghan. But this is what caused him to get trapped by her. Okay, the next card is what is the challenge that is illuminating in Harry right now? And what I'm getting here is the King of Wands. So the King of Wands, that's the initiator king. This is the person that can start things but cannot go all the way with them. This, like all court cards from the Wands family, they have a problem with taking things all the way through. They're very good at beginnings, not very good at endings. And the King of Wands he's the someone who is impulsive. He is someone who is getting angry and irritated very easily, and the challenge here is that because of his impatience, because he is losing interest very easily, because he's in a way egotistical and gets angry very fast, these are the challenges that he is currently facing, and he's unable to take things all the way through. He's unable to start something and go with it all the way. So this is one of his problems, and this is something that really really illuminates right now in his life. This is a challenge that really illuminates in his life. Okay, the next card is how did Harry neglect warning signs from that he could have seen when he just met Meghan? Did he neglect any warning sign? Were there any warning signs that he just chose to neglect? And what I'm getting here is the Two of Swords. So despite the fact that the Two of Swords is a no card, the Two of Swords is also a card of someone who doesn't see reality as it is. So this is just the card of someone who neglects warning sign. This is exactly the card of someone who doesn't see reality as it is, and because of that he makes the wrong decision, and because of that he ends up in the Three of Swords energy. So the answer for this is yes, he couldn't see reality, he couldn't cope with reality, he saw what he wanted to see, he did not see her as she really is. And this is why we see here a person whose eyes are covered, because this is a card of someone who is unable to see reality as it is, and because of that he is making bad choices, he's unable to cope with the reality. So this is a card of someone who is getting into family fights. This is a card of someone who is getting into rivalries, someone who is this is of someone who has the tendency to overlook facts. So this is exactly it. He overlooked the warning signs that were there. The warning signs were there, but he overlooked that. And this is exactly what this card is all about. It's about tendency to overlook fact, reluctance to face problem. This is a card of depression and a person that is reluctant to handle things, a person that thinks that things will happen by themselves, that he doesn't have to do anything, a passive person, a person that has tendency to procrastinate, a person that runs away from reality. So this is actually a yes answer to the question, and this is the nuances of the tarot, because sometimes you ask a question, or yes or no question, and you get a no card, but actually the interpretation of the card shows you that it is a yes card to this question, and to this exact question this is a yes card. This is a yes. He neglected to see the warning sign. He overlooked the warning sign. They were there, but he couldn't see them. Okay, so the next card is, what can he do to stop tolerating this terrible relationship, or is there anything that he can do? And the answer that I'm getting here is death. And death is a card of change. So if he wants to stop suffering, if he wants to stop tolerating the situation that he has in his relationship, he needs this very major change in his life. This is a change that completely nullifies what was before. And there are several change cards in the major arcana, and some of them are changes that are not nullifying what was before, but building upon it. This is a change that is radical change. This is a change that completely nullifies what was before. So if he wants to stop suffering, he needs to go through this very, very major change. He needs to start living again. So he needs to this is like a card that is calling him to divorce, because this is a card that is telling him that he needs to nullify what was before. So now he cannot, if he has children with her, he cannot unhave the children, but he can go through a divorce. He can split from her. So this is a card that tells him that he needs this very major change in order to go forward in his life, in order to start living. So this is a card that is saying to him that he needs to reconcile with the fact that changes is something that everyone goes through, and sometimes he needs to realize that this is a change that he has to go through. Okay, so this is how he can stop suffering. And the next card is an advice card, and in this instance I am asking for an advice for him, although I'm sure that he's not listening and he doesn't know, he doesn't see my readings. But what can he do? What kind of advice can he get in order to move forward with his life? And we get the 10 of Pentacles. So the 10 of Pentacles, that's a card of richness. That is a card of abundance. This is a card of a happy family. This card is a card that also tells me that in this instance, it will cost him. It will cost him a lot of money to move forward, because she is so materialistic, because it is all about the money. This will cost not only him, this will cost the royal family. And if he wants really to move forward, he will have to pay her quite a lot. And why do I say the royal family? Because probably she will have him under ransom, and because he will not have enough money to give her for her to feel secure. The royal family, in order to restore the happiness in the royal family, they will have to pay some money from their pockets, because Harry himself doesn't have enough money for Meghan to feel secure for the rest of her life. So this card just tells me that this is a card that shows us a lot of this is a card of someone who is very materialistic, greedy, and this will cost Harry a lot of money. So this is going to be the only way forward. If they want to get him released, they need to find a way to tempt her with enough money so that she will consent to release the grip of doom, as A.G. Tudor likes to say. Okay, so that's the tarot, and I'm going to take an oracle card, and the first one is for us. So what can we do? Going forward? There was this suggestion today in Twitter to do a blackout and to completely ignore them for the next few days. I don't know how much how possible it is to do that. I mean, they are going to do a lot of things that will cause a lot of backlash. I'm not sure how possible it is. So I'm starting with clearing the deck. And what can we do in order to make Harry realize that he is in a toxic relationship? Sorry. So what is the advice for us in order to get forward with the Harkles and make Harry realize he is in a toxic relationship. And the card that I'm getting here is Lullaby. So this is a card about restoration. This is a card about dreams and rhythm. And the message behind this card is that nighttime, and we can see here the moon, nighttime is our time to replenish our forces, to rest, and to restore our energy. And this is for us. Maybe a blackout is the answer, because a blackout, this is like nighttime. So maybe taking a blackout, doing a blackout, and just maybe really ignoring them will help Harry to realize that he is in a toxic relationship. I don't know, but this could very much be the blackout that people were talking about. Let's see what kind of energy can we see for Harry. So energy for Harry moving forward from this toxic relationship. Energy for Harry moving forward in this toxic relationship. And the card that I'm getting is Moon Dance. Okay, so this card, first of all, it's a moon dance. There is a moon here. The moon is the mother card. The moon is also related to the mother. But this card shows us a very adventurous girl that is walking on a rope. And it is about daring, about getting balance. And if you remember, the card that we got at the beginning of the tarot spread was the King of Swords, which is about balance. It's the Libra man. So this is about balance. This is about easiness. This is about adventure, and this is about perspective. So what I think it means that, first of all, he needs to change his perspective. He needs to restore balance in his life, and he needs to be more daring and more adventurous in order to do what he needs to do, which is to end this relationship. And it's not an easy thing to do, but this is what he needs to do. And if he doesn't do that, and he will fall off the rope. This is about dancing through life, taking risks and being daring, and he cannot expect that everything will just go smoothly. Things are not always going smoothly. So he needs to be more adventurous. He needs to take the risk of maybe needing to pay a lot of money, maybe needing to maybe having a problem with seeing the children as much as he wants, but he needs to take that risk because otherwise he just won't be able to follow through. Okay, so this is it for this reading. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.